For more of my videos, be sure to scroll on down, hit the subscribe button, and if you even want to be notified for later videos, be sure to hit that bell just right there. Thanks for helping my channel out, guys.
Hello there.
General Kenobi! You are a bold one.
Well, hey everyone, what's going on? A bold one here. And before I get into anything, yes, this is a new video. Of course, it's actually part 2, as you can see the headlines, but I'm going to go through that here in a second. So, something amazing happened yesterday, or I guess overnight and today. So, I had made out a video released a couple days ago called, it was episode 16, and it was my top 12 teams for Grand Arena. And for about the first 2 days, I believe, it had about, I don't know, 25 views or so, not very much. Well, last night, something amazing happened. You guys came in clutch out of nowhere. Woke up this morning with about 200 views and about a few more subscribers, probably about 5. I said, this is really weird. I didn't do anything interesting. I just kind of happened overnight, and I didn't do anything. And now, by the end of this night, at least last time I checked it, I have over 502 views for that video and almost 20 more subscribers. So I want to say you guys are freaking awesome to just come in clutch like that out of nowhere. I don't even know what happened. Yeah, no idea. I didn't advertise it or anything. I just do what I always do, upload it to a couple Discord servers and post it on Facebook. But my hunch is that the video was very demanding, especially it pertains to the 3v3, and that's the next Grand Arena, which I believe starts tomorrow, is what's coming up. So I just said, hey, you know what? Why not make a part 2? There were so many characters that I didn't even touch. There was factions I didn't need to touch. I didn't touch any First Order, and I left out a couple people like Grand Admiral Thrawn. And so I thought, hey, you know what? I can cough up 12 more teams. So, this is, the top 12 part 2, or places 13 through 24. Some of these teams will be better than some of the teams that you saw in the first vid, but some of them won't be as good. Especially since there's not a lot of legendary characters in this selection. What I want to say before I get into this, that my idea is not to necessarily, and I understand the title is the 12 best teams, but looking at your roster, you want to utilize the most characters in the most efficient ways that you can. And so instead of bunching up like, in my last video, I didn't put Revan and Grandmaster Yoda together with General Kenobi. The reason I didn't do that is because I spaced out. You're dividing and conquering, and you got to spread your resources. You don't want to bunch them up in the few squads, because if you do that, I understand there were some teams that were crazy good, like CLS, Han, and Chewie. But sometimes you have to spread these teams out to make the most use and the best use you can get out of them. So I'll kind of get in more into that, but let's go ahead and just get into this list. At number 1, or 13, 1, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter, is Director Krennic as the lead with Death Trooper and Shore Trooper. Reason for this is Director Krennic and Death Trooper have amazing synergy with each other. They both deal high damage. Director Krennic's basic is the highest damage dealing basic in the game, and Death Trooper, he synergizes with him well. And Shore Trooper is obviously the tank. You want to get the heat off of both of those other guys and let him soak up all the damage, and he heals. At number 2, we have Grand Admiral Thrawn, Snow Trooper, and Magma Trooper. Reason I did this, no tank, but Thrawn can do some ebb and flow, so he can help recover some protection, some other things. And then you have your Snow Trooper, who is dealing out all the damage with his AoE and basic. Magma Trooper can do some turn meter reduction, but he can also do, if you have his basic Omega, he can hit twice. So a lot of damage there. Grand Admiral Thrawn can fracture, so you're doing a lot of crippling to this team by turn meter reduction, fracturing, and hitting them with some good damage. At number 3, you have Hera, so from Phoenix, with Kanan and Sabine. Obviously, Hera's the only good Phoenix leader. She's the only Phoenix leader. And then you have Kanan, who's the better of the tanks in the team, and then Sabine. She's it's hard to argue. She's probably the most. Well, I don't want to say that. She's a really good rebel attacker. Ezra's probably better, but I have him in my next team. In my next team, number 4, I have a wedge lead with Biggs and Ezra. Reason I had this is this is mainly just a really hit hard, hit fast kind of team. You have Wedge with his amazing AoE, you have Biggs with his assist. I mean, they'll be assisting like crazy because Ezra can assist, and he can almost annihilate with one of his special abilities. So a lot of good hard fast attacking. Probably not going to be a good defensive team, but really good offense. At number 5, we have Darth Sidious lead with Sith Assassin and Count Dooku. Now this one, maybe not the strongest lineup, but I used a lot of the Sith characters yesterday. But reason you want Darth Sidious is that he pretty good lead. I think he's better. It's better than Dooku's. It works all around. But yes, Sith Assassin who can cloak himself, can do some stunning, as well Count Dooku. But Count Dooku is a really big damage dealer, and he's one of the fastest Sith characters in the game as well. At number 6, you have Admiral Akbar lead with Princess Leia and Stormtrooper Han. So you got Akbar, great rebel leader, a lot of good stuff in there. Leia, cloak herself, but she can do some crazy damage. She can triple tap, double tap. Don't think she can do more than triple tap. And then you got Stormtrooper Han to take some heat off of Leia and Akbar. And Akbar can also heal, and he's got some other assistive abilities that are really good. At number 7, we have Jane Erso with Chirrut and Baze. Jane Erso is a really good rebel lead. Chirrut and Baze, it's like peanut butter and jelly. They got to go together. I didn't think there would be a better lead for them. And besides, there's some other, like CLS would have been good, but he's with a different lineup, so that's why I didn't have him there. So next, at 8 and 9, this is what I was kind of talking about earlier, kind of dividing and conquering. So, with this lineup, I could have done Crew or Kylo Ren unmasked with Kylo Ren masked and maybe like Executioner. But if you use those, then your other First Order troopers are probably going to not be as versatile or not as good. And so this is why I split them up. So at number 8, we have Kylo Ren unmasked with First Order TIE Fighter Pilot and Executioner. Crew, obviously he's going to be tanking, doing some stunning as well. Then you have First Order TIE Fighter Pilot, who's going to deal a lot of damage, lot of damage. And then you have Executioner, hits hard. He's kind of tanky, kind of beefy, but he'll be doing a lot of damage as well. So both of them, basically, you're using them to attack while you're going to have Crew tanking. At number 9, you're going to have Captain Phasma, who's the only other lead or good lead, with Kylo Ren, regular Kylo Ren, and then First Order Stormtrooper. Kind of the same technique. You want First Order Stormtrooper tanking, while Kylo and Phasma do all the damage. Mainly Phasma there to kind of be a support character, but Kylo is going to be your main damage dealer. At number 10, you have Lando Calrissian with Ahsoka Fulcrum and Rey Scavray. This team, probably not the best out of the bunch, but kind of with this side, as we get more towards the bottom, I'm kind of reaching in the bin, kind of seeing what I can pull out. I used all the really good Resistance characters in the last video, and so Rey was just kind of there. Lando gives Scoundrels and Rebels some critical damage and some speed, so Ahsoka Fulcrum will be really good. Rey's just there to help deal some extra damage. Probably not going to be the best out of the bunch, but nonetheless, you can make something work with it. Number 11. Now this one I used kind of what I was talking about, the versatility. When you use a lot of the good characters together, the others aren't as good. So for instance, number 11, for Night Sisters, you can have Talia, Night Sisters Zombie, and Acolyte. So Acolyte and Zombie are a really good combo. Basically, Acolyte can stay cloaked and won't come uncloaked until all other Night Sisters are dead, but Zombie keeps regenerating until all other Night Sisters are dead. At least with all the new ability stuff that happened to her, I actually don't know if that's the case anymore. someone might want to enlighten me. I just don't play with Night Sisters enough. I went back and kind of reviewed her. Honestly, I have forgot kind of like how she functions and all that. So if anybody wants to kind of enlighten me if that's still a good tactic, but nonetheless, it's something you can use. Mainly, probably what the better move yesterday or the other day would have been to like split up Mother Talzin and Asajj Ventress as two different leaders, but that's what I was saying. Divide and conquer, or you can bunch up and make a really hard-hitting team. So this team obviously isn't going to be the better of the Night Sister bunch. Nonetheless, it's something you can make. It's something that you can scrounge around in your bin when you've used all of your other characters. Because this is really what this game is about. It's about reaching into the bin, see what you can pull out and use. And then at number 12, you have Jango Fett lead with Greedo and Embo. Like this, Jango, really good leader. Probably, now that he's farmable, he'll probably be one of the better leaders, I think, once people start getting him 7-starred and Gear 12, all that good stuff. And then Greedo, really good bounty hunter. If you can keep getting those critical damages, critical chances, I mean, he can keep going forever. Does a lot of high damage. And then Embo, obviously, one of the best bounty hunters you can find in the game, probably, in terms of damage dealing. Well, guys, before I close, I'm trying to make this as fast as I can. So, like I said, these teams aren't going to be the better of the bunch, most likely, just because, I used a lot of the legendary, the main characters that you would probably mainly use in, like, Territory Wars, but, so, in this video, I'm just trying to help, like I noticed a lot in my Grand Arena, which I got first place in, you can check it out right here, is that I got 3 wins, but man, I only took first by there was one match, I won all 3 of them. I won one match by 1. And here's why I won. The guy had the same GP as me, but the reason that he didn't do as good was because he didn't have that many characters. That's, I know some of the people talked about you don't want to level up random other characters and inflate your roster because it'll higher your GP. But the problem that this guy had is that he had focused all his resources on such a small pool of people that, like his Kylo, he had a Jedi Knight Revan team, triple Zeta'd. He threw on, Grandmaster Yoda, Bastila, and some other people. Made it a really deadly team. I didn't get past it, but I took out everybody else. And Revan was guarding the ship, so I took out the second team on his lineup, and then I cleared the other section out. And what I noticed is that that he I only won by 1, but it seemed like the problem that he had is that he just couldn't quite touch. He couldn't do a lot when it came down to my Bastila team, who's my arena team, because he didn't have that big of a roster. And so the point of this is to try to utilize more characters. I try to, on a basis, try to get everybody to Gear 9, at least the characters that I'm going to use in other parts of the game. Try to get them Gear 9 and then try to max out their abilities and put some good mods on them. And so basically that's what it is. It's not necessarily the best combinations, but it's the best way to utilize them over a broad area. So, guys, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot. I meant to say this earlier, and I regret not saying it now, but for those who haven't seen the last video or some of my other videos, that right now I'm trying to get into the Game Changers program, and for that I have to hit 500 subscribers. So what I'm doing, because you guys are awesome who have been jumping on board, is that I'm giving away 2 Google Play and or iTunes cards, $30 on each card, and I'm gonna, when we hit 250 subscribers, I'm going to pick 2 random people who have liked and subscribed, and I'm going to send them those cards. So be sure to like and subscribe to win, and when we hit 250, I'm going to release what the prize is going to be for the 500 subscribe. So I'm not going to tell you guys what it is now. It's going to be a big surprise. It'll be more expensive than those, but I have a couple ideas when I think I want it to be. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for tagging along, and like I said in the beginning, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell if you want to look out for more of my videos. So thanks for all you do, guys, and looking forward to it next time.